Hey, what's up, y'all? It's popping this D-Boss reacting to this vid. This is the story of Mob Ties, most feared family organization in the United States. I've been wondering who these people are. Everybody wants to talk about Mob Ties. Drake talking about Mob Ties. I don't know what y'all talking about. What mob? I don't get it. But maybe this video will help us understand. Let's watch.
I've never been the type of person who was content with taking orders.
It's hard not to be a little jealous of James Smith. At the age of 28, this young man who grew up in the Houston ghetto is now a self-made millionaire.
To make a long story short, I was totally unaware of them charging me with that pill.
Where do you think the pill came from?
I think the pill came from Raymond's pocket.
And so you think they planted this pill on you?
Oh, definitely. You have to survive the guys that's in the hood because they trying to get you. You know, wherever success is concerned, they trying to get you. And the police that's supposed
Why
to
watching
be
this on this old ass
protecting me,
TV?
the ones I'm paying all these taxes to, have became an enemy.
Why is everyone so scared of J Prince?
You know what I mean? It's the beast, you know what I mean, in the streets. You know, heard about, you know what I mean, the shit that had happened to people back in the day, you know what I mean? So when you hear those stories and you see how you move, you know, that it's scared of you know what I mean, period.
You would almost rather
Lincoln
die
with the
before
odds,
you
bitch, I did that
realize
shit
some
with
really
Jay
triple
Prince.
disrespect for Brand.
Bitch, I did that for the Mob Ties.
Period. Live and die by it. That is us. My name, the Prince name, rapper, like all that shit coincide together.
Hey, yo, squad, what's the drill? Back with another video, man. You know, history holds some of the greatest secrets, but there's one in hip-hop that many are clueless about. Like, why is this ominous figure named J Prince so feared in the rap game? How did his family amass so much wealth? And how did his son J Prince Jr. turn his legacy into the Mob Ties movement that not only stands on business for some of the biggest A-list stars like Drake, but is allegedly connected to the most recent demise of Takeoff? If you want these questions answered and know the dark history of Mob Ties and hip-hop, then you're in the right place. So without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. To understand the Mob Ties story, you first need to know the foundation, and it all starts with the notoriously known J Prince, who came up in the streets of 5th Ward, Houston, Texas. Surrounded by poverty and the outbreak of coke having the trenches in a chokehold back in the day, J Prince adapted to his surroundings to make it out the hood. He wanted moms and them to have to find the things in life, so he had to do what he had to do. According to those that knew him and grew up under his wing, J Prince wasn't one to fold under pressure and instead became a wolf and a beast that became feared throughout the streets due to his mob-type way of doing things and connections throughout the different hoods.
They have labeled you a very dangerous man.
Wow, I wonder why would they do that?
Dudes tell stories of how his word held weight in the streets, from Commander Master P to not touch his artists, to squeezing Birdman when he tried to play them for money. J Prince is like the hip-hop boogeyman.
Well, you were beefing with Master P during this time, right?
Right, definitely, man. That's another thing, man. He called P and told P to, you know, pump his brakes, keep it on wax, you know what I mean? Like, I done been in the airport with them. Mystical, all his bodyguards, everybody, they could just mean mug me. We all sitting down there 2-3 rows from each other. All they can do is mean mug me. Can't do shit because of the old man, so Jay is connected.
But that money, power, and respect came at a price. At just 28 years old, J Prince went from being broke to being rich, stacking up M's in the bank. He was whipping Rolls Royces before dudes could even dream about owning one. Even more, he was giving them to the homies. It was straight boss moves.
Back then, raw flush. Dealing with raw flush back then. Raw. Yeah. So back then, I made a decision. I said, God damn. I say, I'm trying to be somebody else.
But with all that wealth and his name growing as the kingpin running the streets, you know the feds wasn't going to sit and let that slide. While they was lurking, J Prince was building an empire. With the money rolling in, he diversified his catalog, branching into boxing, where he managed Floyd Mayweather early on in his career.
You was instrumental in Floyd Mayweather's career early on too, right? Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. I managed Floyd Mayweather for 4 years.
And we We all know about his infamous record label Rap-A-Lot Records, which was inspired by his brother Sir Rap-A-Lot, who was later arrested. Rap-A-Lot Records was the next venture to take his power to an even higher level early on. People don't know how connected he was. Even the big bad bully Suge Knight was his acquaintance. He was hanging with the gangsters and music moguls controlling the industry in the streets. Jay Prince even had to warn Biggie and Puff about Biggie's life being in danger, but they didn't listen.
Is your reasoning because you've seen it play out like this before? Because everybody says you warned Diddy and Big about being in LA at the time.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, I actually turned my whole bus around. I was, a long ways out just to go back to Puffy and Biggie and let them know what I had felt and things that I heard in the streets.
Jay Prince was up and was building one hell of a legacy, not breaking his word to build something of himself in the music biz, and that's exactly what he did. But the feds finally started making their move. According to him, they had a hitman on him and was sending shots and hitting licks on his homies at first.
This was a hitman. I don't know no better way to characterize this guy other than hitman. They chose
this background music is too loud, sir.
Chad Scott, who is presently, I think he's been indicted on 13 cases. They put both of these guys to wipe me out, destroy me, to destroy rap.
When they realized he wasn't budging, they decided to try to set him up and do him dirty. Lurking in the cut, they pulled up on him one night and tried to get him to go into a dark spot at a McDonald's parking lot.
And the EPS agent pulled behind me. And it was the first time that I ever been stopped. One time told to go to another destination to stop again. But this other spot they wanted me to go to was dark. You know what I mean? It was like in a McDonald's parking lot, but deep in the McDonald's parking lot. And it was dark. And I saw two cars.
Prince was street smart though, and he realized that dark spot would be the end of him. So he moved to another place with light where the cops went on to try to little boy him, grilling him about his money and firearms. When he got out the car, another agent came out of the cut from the dark spot, and after searching his vehicle and checking out the poles he legally owned, they gave him a warning ticket and let him go. When Prince got back in his car, he checked his strap and realized that one or two of the bullets was missing. They was trying to scheme to take him out. He really dodged a bullet, for real.
He came back to me and said, okay, you're free to go, and gave me a warning ticket. A warning ticket. And it was then when I got home, I realized a bullet or two was missing. So red flags like,
oh shit.
Yeah, like went up. I'm like, damn, why would they keep one of my bullets? Why were they trying to pull me in the dark?
They was persistent and trying to set him up in political scandals next.
Because even Al Gore, came in a portrait where they tried to set me up at my church with Al Gore. Al Gore came to visit my church, which when you're running for president, you visit a lot of black churches and stuff like that. And my pastor wanted me to meet Al Gore that day. So when I pulled up, I was married at the time, I told my wife, I say, all these people ain't here with the president, because I was watching body language. I saw black glasses kind of looking my direction.
I digged into his story he told in an interview, and for real, it was all true what he was saying. Every tactic was failing to take down Rap-A-Lot. So what they do to try to take out the big man, they pulled the old plant something in his car trick.
Even before then, they stopped me one night and they planted a pill on me called ecstasy.
Prince was no pushover and didn't cop out to it being his, but instead pushed back and beat the case when the jig was up on what they did. Rap-A-Lot became even more notorious. They were fighting the system and exposing crooked cops, and it was happening live for the world to see.
Harassing me and saying things for a long time, but for them to go to the extent where they have to do dirty, things like this and plant dope on me, that upsets me a lot. A controlled substance were found.
Jay Prince would later hire his own investigator to gather evidence on the crooked agent, Chad A. Scott, who tried to take him out and uncovered that bro was abusing his power and murking people just like he was trying to do him. On August 12, 2021, the law finally caught up to the age and he was sentenced to 13 years for the same allegations Jay Prince was trying to tell him about. After going through all he had went through to amass his wealth and surviving the system's hit on his life, Jay Prince called it quits with the streets and focused solely on ruling with Rap-A-Lot to avoid his destructive lifestyle.
The closet was a situation where I made one of the most important decisions of my life. You know, it was where I transitioned from the street to corporate America. You know what I mean? I gave up the game.
His kids gave him the push to make that decision, and he built Rap-A-Lot to pass down the family ways to them, and that's exactly what happened.
Part of my main decision for making that was for my kids.
Get that gun
Time
off
in my life, I didn't care.
Real now.
You know what I mean? I didn't care. I was in the street to die. You know what I mean? It didn't matter to me. But it's a beautiful thing, you know, to look at your kids and say, well, I'm going to do this for y'all. You know what I mean? I didn't have enough sense to do it. I said, but I'm going to do this for y'all. And all of that was a part of the decision making that I made in the club.
That gave birth to the beginnings of what the world would know as mob ties. From a young age, Jay Prince Jr. was molded under the guidance and ways of his father.
His values are his values, regardless of who you are. You need to steal that in us.
Definitely.
It brought him some hardships living within the lifestyle of the streets, but it made him into the same feared and powerful man he grew up to be.
Coming up as a child, I done dealt with so much. And there's some things that I can't talk about.
Oh, I bet there's a lot you can't talk about.
I done dealt with so much that it's instilled in me, right? Because I've been dealing with this since a kid. Like, he always let us know, hey man, these people don't like me, so they might not like y'all. So his situations we had to deal with too.
He respected the legacy his father built and took on the torch to continue their family ruling. And with that, he linked up with some of his homies in the 10th grade to form the movement Young Mafia, aka Young Mob. Jay Prince Jr. rallied different parts of the city into one collective group under that name.
When did you start the Mob Ties brand name?
I mean, Mob Ties derives from Young Mafia. I started Young Mafia. We used to call it Young Mob. I started Young Mob, me and a couple of homies. We started Young Mob probably early high school, like my 10th grade year. We started an entity where I brought all the different sides of town together and made one collective group for us to get money.
As he grew, the name became more notorious as a movement known as Mob Ties, which had its reach all over the U.S. The Mob Ties brand has gotten so massive that arguably one of the biggest artists in the game is under their wing, Drizzy Drake. Drake was discovered and signed to the management label of Jay Prince Jr.'s brother, Jazz Prince, after finding him on the OG music platform, MySpace, and he got him to deal with Young Money later on.
Who'd you find?
Drake.
That was the first artist you found?
That was my, yep. That's my first artist that I went out to look for.
Drake has become family to the Princes and in turn has become backed by one of the most powerful black families of wealth, power, and respect. His album Scorpion, Drake dedicated the banger Mob Ties to his second family and Mob Ties.
It's class, G-Class, not a class.
Mob Ties
In
to
there, I
the
get in
world.
that
It was
bitch, I
his
got
version
no
of Rap-A-Lot, holding the weight of his family through
Tori, what
loyalty
the
and
fuck you doing
respect.
here? You ain't a part of my
Just like
time,
his
bitch.
pops, the ops and the cops were still scheming and trying to get him caught. Even to this day, plots like fake bags with illegal substances are being distributed with their brand trying to get Prince Jr. and them in the clutches of the law. Seems very similar to the same planting tactics that they tried on OG Prince back in the day. But just like then, it failed now.
Talking about people sort of disrespecting the brand name and stuff. Most recent thing that I've seen expressed by the Prince family on social media was basically this outcry against these pills that they've been selling with Rap-A-Lot logos on. How does that make you feel?
I mean, you know, government right there. Like, this crazy. First off, I don't know if it's the police or the streets.
The media nearly got the mob tie honcho hemmed up too for clout and clickbait when they made his Cribs tour about him holding the power pole. All his straps were legal, but they chose to highlight the firearm pick for views, and what you know, it brought negative spotlight on bro, and he caught a gun case right after. I was able to find the news coverage on the gun case too, and they had bro sounding like a straight up ruffian. Talk about cops could have been shot because he had the 9 hidden in his crotch. Light bars. They made it seem like dude trafficked the strap behind bars on purpose to do something, when they just didn't find it on him when they searched him, when they pulled him over.
This is rap music mogul James Andre Prince, better known to his fans as J. Prince Jr. And tonight, he is facing charges after smuggling a loaded 9mm semi-automatic handgun into the Houston Police Department jail. According to prosecutors, Prince had just left a party at a posh hotel about 6:30 last night when he was arrested for DWI. The problem is, after being arrested, Prince was able to hide a loaded 9mm gun in his crotch, despite multiple searches by...
As if bro was supposed to say, here, I got the strap on me too, and get into more trouble. J. Prince Jr., though, was trained for this and continued standing strong on mob tie business, and anyone in his way was getting crossed out. Before 6ix9ine became known as the mascot for snitching, he tried to disrespect the mob by allegedly not checking in when he came to the city, and J. Prince Jr. made a public post letting him know the business ASAP, no Rocky, after they kicked him out the club.
Shit.
6ix9ine, then putting on his best gangster impression, went ahead and further disrespected the mob and said he's still not checking in, and even decided to pull up in Houston talking that talk.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that clout chasing is cool. Like, that's a sport now. Like, being gangster's not cool no more. I think clout chasing is. Mentioning Tekashi 6ix9ine's name, you lit, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna continue not to check in, you know what I'm saying? It's something I don't do. I love everybody.
J. Prince Jr. said, I bet, and went to where 6ix9ine was headlining at South by Southwest and gangstered all the security they put in place to protect 6ix9ine. Got on stage and took the mic stating that they were here for 6ix9ine. Dude had everyone outside ready to catch him lacking.
Hey, where's 6ix9ine at? Hey, where's 6ix9ine at? Hey, where's 6ix9ine at? Y'all couldn't see 6ix9ine, huh? Where you at?
Them boys stood on business and made 6ix9ine a no-show after he was shook.
Talking a lot of shit, huh? Well, what mean show up till they on show? Goddamn, you don't want your back in? You don't want your back in?
J. Prince Jr. showed his weight in the city and took 6ix9ine not showing up after all that talk as a sign of respect for the mob tie's power.
Man, it was just a moment where I had to put a kid in his place. Like, and as you see, like, once I addressed the situation, I said nothing more about it because I'm not no lip boxer. I'm not gonna go on social media and go back and forth with you. None of that. I'm gonna check your temperature. And you know, respect can be shown in a bunch of different fashions. He showed me respect.
Mob ties have since extended their reaches and built up to become an even larger entity with ties to some of your favorite mainstream artists that always come through the hood and show love.
Now, you never can forget where you come from. And that's something that my old man instilled in me also. That never forget where you come from. Like every year for my birthday, I have a block party in February, in the middle of February. I don't know if you've seen the footage or not, but there be thousands of people in the middle of my hood. And Drake, them being Meek, them being Ross, them being Chris Brown, Tiger, like the name, Black Youngster, Moneybag, like the name, Lil Kim, he go on and on. Right. Everybody come out every year.
Fifth Ward saw the rise of Rap-A-Lot Records, and now they see young Prince Jr. with an equally respected movement, Mob Ties. When the mob comes through, it's nothing but love and respect because the Prince name has been instilled with that energy with how they move and everything they built. Where the mob goes from here, seems like they're on a mission to take over the world with how they operate. And the sky's the limit. But one thing's for sure, they gotta stay out the way, man. So there you have it.
Nigga, I ain't got nothing. I'm still in the dark. I don't know what's going on. What are these people doing exactly? Are they drug lords? Or are they just protecting these rappers and then they're paying them, you know, in exchange? Like, what exactly is happening? I want to know. But I guess that's the whole point. It's a mystery because if we knew the exact details, then they wouldn't be as powerful because then, you know, if it was known, then they would be in jail for it. So I guess that's the point, whatever. But I wanted to know the, grimy details of exactly what they doing. Have they had people killed? Who? Like, what are the conspiracy theories? That's what I want to know. Because it usually be some truth lingering in these conspiracy theories. So maybe I need to watch a video about that. But yeah, they didn't get deep enough for me. I really want to know what's going on. But I do like the idea that there is a really powerful black family running shit. Even though it's not in the most legal sense, apparently. But, it's still interesting that they are so feared and so respected, and they're so big and they're so powerful, So, yeah, I guess this is all we'll get for now. I don't know. If y'all know anything about the mob ties, let me know what's going on. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this video, though. Let me know what other videos you want me to watch, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.